Good morning, boys and girls. This week you are going to learn Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. Chapter 5 is about audience analysis and Chapter 6 is about selecting some topics. So you are going to prepare for your informed speech videos, right? To make you feel more supported, I'm going to give you some relevant information. I will move a little further in our course and talk about attention-getting strategies. Attention-getting strategy is a way we utilize to capture the attention of our audience at the beginning of our speech. So it's an introduction part. There are 4 things to consider before we start our attention-getting strategy. The first is about your audience. So this part is very relevant to the audience analysis in Chapter 5. You will think about their age, gender, basic beliefs, education. For example, if I'm going to give you a speech on video game theory, should I start with the example of the King of Fighters, which was a game almost outdated about 20 years ago? Definitely no, because in your generation, no one will be that familiar with this case. I should start with more new games like the Overcooked on Steam, this kind of thing. The second is about your purpose. You might learn different purposes in Chapter 6. To inform, to persuade, to entertain, there are different purposes, so we will need different attention-getting strategies, because different attention-getting strategies set different tones for your speech. The third one is about the topic. You will not want to use different topics to distract your audiences, right? The final part is about the occasion. You can always talk jokes at the beginning of a funeral. And by now, I'm going to give you other strategies, other examples to do the attention getting. The first is just a reference to your subject. It's very direct, like we'll directly say, we will talk about blah blah, your topic. It's very direct and it's very useful sometimes, but it's sometimes boring. And the second is reference to your subject. You can see that you and I both know the importance of environmental problem. In this way, you involve your audiences because you see you and I. The third is about quotations. You all know many quotations, and you all know that different quotations have different connotations. You can use this connotation to organize your speech. The fourth and the fifth are about reference to events. Sometimes you refer to current events, like you say, today's breaking news, today's big news, today's local news, to get attention of your audiences. And also the fifth is about referring to historical events. You can see some historical events like in Boston. For example, if you are going to give a speech in Boston, you can just start with the Boston Tea event because it's historical relevant. And the third and another is about the question. You can start with some questions like, please raise your hand if you want to know something about European history. And the last and the most interesting part, the most interesting strategy is to use humor. But pay attention, using humor is a kind of double-edged sword. For one thing, you might distract your audiences if you tell a lot of jokes. You tell some jokes and you make them laugh and laugh again, and they forget everything you talk about. And for another, it's sometimes offensive to someone because humor is always an offensive art. If you offend someone in your audiences, or you offend most of your audiences, if you offend most of your audiences, they just directly go away and never listen to your speech again. This is today's announcement. I hope you can learn something about attention-getting strategies, and I'm looking forward to seeing your attention-getting strategies in your future speech.